I'm sure I'm not the only one that receives a lot of automated calls to both my cell and home phone numbers these days. So what can we do to keep our phones from ringing all day long with unwanted calls? Here now to talk more about how Spectrum's helping to protect customers with their Call Guard technology for voice and mobile customers is Wes Shirley with Spectrum. Wes, glad you're here. And what can you tell us about Call Guard?
Pete, it is understandable how frustrating it is for people to get all these spam calls and texts. Well, Spectrum is doing something about that. We're the nation's fastest growing mobile provider, and we're working to help protect our customers. We have implemented an industry-leading robocall blocking tool called Call Guard, and it works to block those malicious known robocalls. And the great thing about it, it's automatically activated for both voice and mobile customers.
Oh, that's awesome, because it is just so incredibly annoying. Can you explain a little bit in ways that we can understand how Call Guard works?
Sure. It sounds complicated, but it's actually fairly simple. So Spectrum uses data and predictive analysis to assess those incoming calls. Call Guard will then assign a score to it based on a fraudulent known risk level, and then it will categorize those into buckets such as fraudulent or malicious.
Oh, that's really cool. So when you talk about putting it in those buckets there, I mean, it's such a useful feature to have. Can customers adjust Call Guard to fit their own personal preferences?
Sure. For Spectrum mobile customers, they can turn the feature on or off. For Spectrum voice customers, your home phone, if you will, they can have a setting of low, medium, or high. And those are operated differently. The low filter will block those malicious calls and then send it to a spam caller ID to add it to the list of telemarketing calls. The medium filter blocks those telemarketing calls as well as spammers. And then the high setting does it all. It also does that, plus it will block those robocalls we get from time to time.
Well, Wes, I'm sure that, you know, all of us have either an elderly family member, maybe a friend. We're worried about them getting scammed. What advice would you have for people in that situation?
Yeah, that's certainly an issue today. And so what you can do is, if you're tech savvy, you can assist them by adjusting the settings into their account. Or if you're watching this and you may have some questions about it, you can always give us a call or stop by one of our Cincinnati area Spectrum stores. Our team members will be glad to give you some information about that. And to show this technology actually works, we have a case in point. Recently, we had a 91-year-old customer give us a call because she was getting so many spam calls. And so our team worked with her, and she noticed an almost immediate difference in the number of nuisance calls she was getting.
Oh, that's fantastic. So on the off chance, again, you know, if one of these callers does get through, what do customers need to know?
Sure. Trust your instincts. If you have a suspicious call, text, or email, you don't have to respond to it. It's perfectly okay to hang up the phone and ignore it. You can also give us a call, and we can assist you again with setting up the settings, or you can go online, do a virtual chat, or use the My Spectrum app to get more information about the frauds and scams out there.
All right, this all sounds great. Wes, thanks so much for talking with us today about Call Guard. And for those of you watching at home, if you'd like some more information on how you can protect yourself from scams, set up fraud alerts, and so much more, visit spectrum.net/security center.